Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. And also hello to everybody out there in BitChute land. So I finally made it after all this time. So if you don't know, I've been reviewing Countdown to Final Crisis. I started at issue 51 and reviewed all the way down to issue number 1. So if you'd like to check those out, I'll have my previous videos in a link. So it's been pretty interesting. It's been kind of a wild ride getting all the way down to issue number 1. Of course, since it's Countdown, you count down from 51 all the way down to 1. It took me a while. I took a break here and there for a while, but I did eventually get down to issue number 1, so I'm pretty excited to talk about it. Like all the other issues, it was written by Paul Dini. Keith Giffen was the story consultant. So on this one, we have Tom Derenick as the penciler. Of course, he's a great artist, so the art on this is quite good throughout. Wayne Focher was the inker. He's done a lot of the inks on this series, and again, is really good. And Pete Pantazis is the colorist. Again, he's a really good colorist. He and Tom Chu have done most of the coloring on this series, and honestly, the coloring, I've talked about it a lot, is one of the strong points. Unfortunately, the story itself has some weak points, and Swanos is the letterer. So the cover was by Andy Kubert, and Pete Carlson was his inker, or colorist, I'm not sure. So I presume they went all out and got the best artist they could for the cover. Andy Kubert, of course, is a great artist, and this is one of the better covers for the whole series, actually. I like it. It's cool. You have the Challengers of Beyond on the cover. Of course, Donna Troy, Kyle Rayner, and the crew. So it's a very solid cover. I tend to like team covers and, ones that show the characters. So the first page is kind of good. It's just kind of a tiny bit of a recap of what happened, but not really. Essentially, though, what we get on the first 2 pages is just Jimmy Olsen and his girlfriend, who, if you don't know, is Forger 2. She's a female a bug, one of the Forger people. So anyways, it's like 2 pages of them moping around, and then the next 2 pages are the Atom, Ray Palmer moping around, and then Donna Troy shows up. So they're all kind of moping around too, because they are, they're the anomalies or whatever. They're the characters that were supposed to have their stories wrapped up Crisis on Infinite Earths, but they never really got that sorted out for the longest time. So they're all kind of bummed out. So the first, honestly, they're well drawn and colored, but the first 5 pages I didn't really like that much. They were just heroes moping around. But then we got to a page I liked a lot. So the Piper, he's a he's sort of a villain. He's a villain sometimes. One of the Flash's rogues. But he actually played a pretty big part in this series, and I guess he killed Darkseid. So that, there's a scene several issues back where he actually accomplishes that. And I thought he died. I'm not sure how he gets to Earth. There might be some way that they explained that I missed. But I was glad to see him survive, so that was pretty cool. So there's just 1 page of him. It's the last issue, so they're kind of telling you what happened with some of the characters. But I thought his story arc was pretty cool, and especially early in the series, he played a big role. So then the next one's a page about Jason Todd. He's being a badass. He's being Jason Todd. So then we get a cool page. The Monitor Solomon. In this series, there's 52 monitors instead of just the 1. So anyways, he goes out to the source wall. I mostly wanted to show this because the art on it's really cool. I always like the art when they go out to the source wall. I think it looks nice. And he puts a little statue there for Darkseid. So in the last 2 issues, Darkseid fought. He fought a superpowered Jimmy Olsen, and then he fought... who did he fight? Oh, he fought his son, Orion. And Orion won, so dude here, homeboy... Solomon the Monitor puts a statue of Darkseid on the source wall. It's just kind of a remembrance. And then, of course, this all gets undone once we start Final Crisis. Darkseid's back. But anyways, so Kyle Rayner showed up to join the moping around party with Adam and Donna Troy. Ultimately, though, they kind of decide that they're going to try to monitor the monitors. I don't know how that's going to work. Then we get one of my favorite pages. So I always really like Black Adam. He's like my favorite villain. And kind of the thing that I found most intriguing about the series Countdown to Final Crisis was Mary Marvel, taking on his powers. It's kind of too bad they muddled that, because they needed her to be evil, I guess, in Final Crisis. But in this, she'd already had like 2 redemption arcs and become good and then it's turned evil again. But anyways, the art on this is awesome. Like, I think her outfit looks cool with the Black Adam style. But anyways, you know, they're in the desert and they're talking, and basically she's kind of looking for a buddy, but he's like not having any part of it, and he calls her a child, and she gets mad and blasts him, and he's like, I called you a child and you reacted like one. As I normally find beating children distasteful, I will ignore you. Farewell, Mary. And he flies away. So that's kind of why I like that's why I like Black Adam's style. Like, he's mostly making a point here anyway. So anyways, he flies off and she kind of blows up the area around her. So, you know, it's kind of sucks how it ends for Mary, but her outfit does look cool. I'm going to skip a couple pages just because I don't want to show everything. But basically what happens for 3 pages is some crap about the Olmec project, which was just like a story arc that was tacked on way too late in the series when it was already bloated. Like, I wish they'd not bothered with the Olmec stuff. So anyways, we skipped that. And then, so now they got Jimmy and his forager girlfriend, and they're all going to go monitor the monitors somehow, which you wouldn't think would work, but one of the monitors shows up. And he's like, I think it's a good idea, and I'm going to sponsor you. So that's what they do. They go to the monitor station, and you see them here. And they're like, they're here to basically make sure that the monitors behave themselves. And one of the monitors says, well, a new game begins. So I don't know if this ever gets followed up on, but it's pretty cool. The challengers of Beyond basically are policing the monitors, in theory. Oh, and then we're on the last page. So then it's Holly Robinson and Harley, and they're back in Gotham City, just hanging out. They survived everything, so they're just gonna chill, which makes sense to me. So that's it. That's how the series ends. That's it. There's no bonus pages. So it's been crazy. It's been a wild ride. It's been kind of one of the backbone topics on my channel. You know, I made 52 videos about Countdown to Final Crisis, so I guess I have to review Final Crisis itself now. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Be sure to hit the bell for notifications. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. And as always, thank you for watching and being a part of DC Fans United.
End of line.